It's Lee here with you on a live 107.3, as always, playing better music and more of it. That Rachel Platten fight song. And speaking of fights, that's exactly what we will be seeing this week on TNA Impact. You can catch it in the wee small hours of Friday morning on TNA Plus, Ultimate Insiders on YouTube, and of course, Friday night on DAZN 1 here in the UK. And this week we'll see a couple of what I'm sure are going to be epic matches. Firstly, a true match for the ages, a generational clash as the number one contender for the TNA title, Nick Nemeth, takes on former TNA champion, one half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley. But the match I'm excited to see on this week's Impact, we'll see Ash by Elegance take on the UK's very own Angel of the Ring, Xia Brookside, who I'm delighted to say joins me now. Xia, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited. I am psyched. As soon as I got the opportunity, as soon as I got that call that said, "Lee, would you like to chat to Xia Brookside?" It's like, hell yeah. How could you not be? If we're going to talk about your match with Ash very shortly, Xia, but if we can go back to the start of the year, January, Hard to Kill, it was unbelievable. The wrestling world was psyched and talking about the return of TNA wrestling. And what a way to kick things off the return, the signature match, Ultimate X, and you were in it. How, I
Yeah.
mean, we're doing this on Zoom just now. Your face is aglow. That is the biggest smile I have ever seen anyone give when I mention the words Ultimate X. It is an epic match. It's massive. It's huge. It's played such an important part in the history of TNA wrestling. How did you react when you found out you're going to be Hard to Kill and then in Ultimate X?
So obviously finding out I was debuting for TNA on a pay-per-view show and it's the return of TNA, I was so excited and honestly just honored to be a part of something so huge. And then I find out it's an Ultimate X match and I just start freaking out. I'm like, okay, firstly, do I have the strength to hold myself up? I go to the playground where I live and I'm like practicing on the monkey bars. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know, but we're getting somewhere, right?
Hmm.
And then I walk into the venue on the day in Las Vegas and I see the Ultimate X hanging up. And it was so high. And I'm terrified of heights.
Which is not a good thing to be when you're going into an Ultimate X match. Let's be honest.
No, it was so scary. And I stood on the top rope because I was like, okay, I need to practice, make sure I can get up there. And obviously, I'm quite short. I'm only 5'3". So when I stood on that top rope, I couldn't reach the rope. So I had to climb up the big metal, like the big metal posts that were on the outside of the ring. And when you're climbing up, you have to face out. So it's an even bigger drop. So my heart was just sinking. I was so excited and so scared and nervous at the same time. But I overcome it and I managed to get up there. And it was such an incredible experience to be a part of.
The Sands was electric that night, and I just felt it watching it on TNA Plus. And again, it'd be different again from that practice going out and sizing up the ring to actually walking out there with a sellout crowd, cheering everything on. Because again, this was a surprise. You coming into Hard to Kill. We'd heard rumors, but again, it hadn't actually been announced. So I mean, how did you feel when the crowd, they really got wild? They went behind as soon as you came out that.
Yeah, they just came up straight away. Everyone was super excited and it was such a great pay-per-view to be a part of. Like as you said, sold out Las Vegas. We're super excited to go back for a Rebellion on April 20th. So I'm excited to kind of experience that again, but I managed during the day I was trying to find ring music and I was trying to find a song that fit and I'd left it so late and I found this song and it was called it was like This Is My Debut with some of the lyrics in it, but the name of the song I can't actually remember, but it said TNA in it and I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. So the song that I used for the day as well was just so incredible and everyone loved it and it was incredible.
it was superb. It was amazing to watch. Obviously, the wee small hours here in the UK, and actually seeing you come out made it all worthwhile. We're already psyched for the return of TNA, but actually having one of our very own there setting the standard from the very, very start was absolutely amazing. Of course, it was a phenomenal event to be part of. It was great for you to be there. But obviously, you hadn't actually signed with TNA at that point. A couple of days later, the graphic, and this is what everybody talks about now. The graphic came out. It was liked, it was shared, it was retweeted all over social. How did how did you feel when you A signed that contract and B then saw the graphic just go crazy on social media?
Yeah, well, when they announced for the Ultimate X match, I can't even remember. There was like thousands of views on the announcement that they'd done. And I was like, wow, like I just didn't think I was that big a deal, you know? I was like, it's cool and I'm excited, but I didn't realize everyone else would be so excited. Like I'm just a young British girl chasing my dream, making my debut in Las Vegas, and it's kind of surreal to me. And then being offered a contract of something that I'd been chasing since I came out here. I moved out here in July and I knew TNA was where I wanted to be. So to then make my debut and get offered that straight away, I was like, yes, heck yes, we're going straight in. We're jumping in at the deep end, and this is where I belong. This is where I wanted to be.
Why? I was going to ask you this question later on, but you brought it up here just now. Why do you think it is so many British wrestlers choose TNA wrestling to set their flag out? We speak to so many of that is where they want to be. If you look at it just now in TNA, there's yourself, there's Daniel Luna, there's a grizzled young veterans, there's Joe Henry, there's Leon Slater, Harley Hudson, of course. We know the winner of Gut Check is training there just now at Trent Seven. Why is TNA wrestling so important to the British wrestling fan and British wrestlers?
I think it's obviously the history of TNA, especially as a female wrestler. They give so many opportunities. And like I said, with my debut being an Ultimate X, I get signed. I go straight into a match with Tasha Steelz, one of the former Knockout World Champions. Like they give you these opportunities to shine and they believe in you. And I think that's why everyone wants to be here, because not only do you get a platform of fans all over the world, like you said, you guys can watch this at any time on YouTube, DAZN, and TNA Plus. Like it is available to everyone worldwide. So for that reason, but also because of how we're treated backstage, it's a family. It's an incredible environment. Everyone wants everyone to succeed. And that's how you get better, when you're supported by your peers around you.
How important has Gail Kim been in helping you integrate into that knockouts locker room? Because we hear so much about Gail about being, and I've got to be careful how I say this, a mother figure to many people in the back.
Yeah, I'm glad you just said that, because that's kind of what I was thinking when you started with that question. It's She is a mom. Like backstage, she's there for everyone. She was my first point of contact in TNA. I reached out to her months ago, hoping for an opportunity. And since I stepped foot in the door, she's done nothing but help me and support me and believe in me, which was everything that I needed. I needed someone to help me build my confidence. And that's what she's done since day one. And I know she does that for everyone else as well. So she's an incredible wrestler, but such an amazing mentor backstage as well. Very grateful for Gail.
Gail is absolutely superb. And of course, she's got so many amazing moments throughout her career that you can go back and watch anytime on TNA Plus. And I suppose, obviously, you've been around wrestling your whole life. We all know this, but obviously, uh, was there a match growing up that actually you saw and you thought, actually, this is what I want to do? Was there that moment?
Okay, so I will expand on this, but there wasn't a match that made me want to be a wrestler. There was a lack of match that made me want to be a wrestler.
Okay.
And so I grew up, as you know, on the road with my dad. And I never knew I wanted to be a wrestler. I'd get picked up from school at what, like 3:15. We finished over there, get thrown in a car, taken to a town, watch a show, go straight home. I'd get home at like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, get up for school at 7, and the whole thing would repeat again. So it wasn't until my dad stopped wrestling about maybe 11, 12 years ago that I realized how much I missed it. And there was like a hole in me. There was like a part of me that was missing. And I was like, oh my God, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. And it was actually me missing being a part of wrestling that made me want to be a wrestler. I thought I wanted to be a vet.
Not much difference between the two.
Not much difference at all, but it's going great and I'm loving every moment. And I'm so glad, like, I realized when I did.
Also, you mentioned your dad there, the legend that is Robbie Brookside. Obviously, and I find this interesting. Your dad didn't train you. Was that a choice that you made or that he made?
That was a mutual decision, actually.
Okay.
We both decided that we didn't want to be in each other's kind of careers. As a second generation wrestler, you will always get the she's only here because of her dad, or her dad did this or whatever. So we decided from the get-go that I was going to do it on my own so that we can look at each other and look at ourselves in the mirror and say that I did do it on my own, and it doesn't really matter what everyone else says if we believe that.
One thing that everybody is saying in the internet world and in the magazines and online and the tweets is how amazing you have been since you've arrived in TNA wrestling. How you're stealing the show every time you set foot inside that square circle, and you've had some amazing matches in there. And let's face it, here we are, the start of April. So you've really only been with the company for less than 4 months. And you've already had that amazing series of matches with Tasha Steelz, as you mentioned. You had that amazing match at Sacrifice, the three-way with Tasha and with Jordan Grace. I mean, how did that? Because Jordan has been setting the world on fire the past 4 or 5 years that she's been with TNA, with Impact Wrestling. Obviously, she made her debut in the Royal Rumble this year, so she's got all this going on. And was it one of those stop and pinch me moments?
Yeah, and I feel like I'm still kind of in it. I feel like I'm catching up with my own career right now of just everything that's happened. Like you said, I don't even think it's been 3 months yet. Hard to Kill was what, January 12th, I think it
Yeah.
was. So it's a lot has happened in such a short period of time. And I've had such an honor sharing the ring with especially someone like Jordan Grace. Like, she's making history. She just came fresh out the Rumble, and then I get to step into a championship match with her. Like, that's surreal to me. So it's definitely a stop and pinch yourself and kind of try and catch up and keep going. But I'm just hoping that she holds on to that title at Rebellion because I want a rematch.
And to be honest, I thought you were going to be in with a chance of going to Rebellion and getting that rematch. We saw this past week on Impact, that 8-for-1 match. It wasn't meant to be in the end. Rosemary causing you to accidentally collide with Ash by Elegance, then took it upon herself when she was sitting at ringside to throw you into the ring post, which has gotten us to where we are on this week's TNA Impact. Yourself taking on Ash by Elegance. Now, Ash, you feel you know where she's going to come. She's going to try and pull out every trick in the book. How are you preparing for this match? Because I need to bring that. I know you've already thought it, but I need to bring this to your attention. It's not really going to be a one-on-one match. Let's be honest, because she's got her personal concierge, George Iceman, out there with her. How are you going to neutralize the Iceman and deal with the challenge of Ash?
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. And flashing back to last week in the 8-for-1, like, she gave up a title opportunity. Let's not look past that. She was the one that decided to go get cosmetic surgery. What, a week, a day? I don't know when she got it, but why would you do that right before such a huge opportunity for your career? So not only did she throw that away, but she took it away from me as well. So I'm not going into this match like all kind of level-headed, or, there's anger there, there's frustration, and I am ready to take on Ash by Elegance, or Ash by Arrogance, as I've lately been calling her. It's George can do whatever a personal concierge does, but this is my match and this is my time, and I think someone needs to settle her down.
I'm talking with Xia Brookside, who faces Ash by Elegance this week on TNA Impact. You can see it on DAZN 1 here in the UK, TNA Plus anytime on demand, and Ultimate Insiders on YouTube. Do not go anywhere.
Experience TNA wrestling like never before with TNA Plus. Relive the moments that inspired a generation. Plus, monthly premium live events. Plus, exclusive monthly content. TNA Plus. You haven't seen anything until you've seen everything. Plan starting at just $9.99 per month.
That was Journey any way you want it. It's Lee here with you on a live 107.3, speaking with one of the biggest stars in the world of wrestling just now. She's setting the TNA Knockouts division on fire. Xia Brookside, are you still with me, my friend?
I'm still here.
Fantastic, fantastic. We've been doing these interviews on Zoom for what seems like forever now, but every time we'll go into musical interlude, I get the panics of coming back. I really, truly do. It's fine. We were talking before about the importance of Gail Kim and the importance of the Knockouts divisions. I mean, it's had an amazing part of TNA wrestling's history. And I want to look back at some of the great female stables TNA wrestling has had. I'm talking about the Beautiful People, My Pie Sexy, the Dollhouse. If you could put yourself in any one of those legendary TNA stables, which one would it be?
Oh, I don't even know. Or maybe I would start my own, you know?
Well,
bring back a legend. I would love to work with Mickie James. That would be absolutely incredible. I love the country. I love country music. And to be able to work with her would be awesome too. So maybe it would be a case of making my own.
I can see where you're going with that. Right, now let's be honest. Okay, two people as a team, three makes a stable. So who would be the third person you would bring in there?
Oh, Gail Kim.
Ah,
It has to be. It has to be, you know? She's incredible.
I love that. You didn't miss a beat, straight in there. You've obviously thought about that before. And I suppose it's better having that level of talent on your side as opposed to it facing you at the other side of the ring.
Definitely.
What we mentioned before was the amazing talent that we have here in the UK and how important the UK has been for TNA wrestling over its time. Obviously, last year, TNA came back to the UK for the first time in 8 years. You weren't with the company at that point, but obviously now you are. We know we are going to get a return of TNA wrestling to the UK at some point this year. How excited are you at the prospect of being part of the TNA roster when it comes back to the UK? And how do you think it would feel when you actually see your face up on those big Maximum Impact posters, which, let's face it, has got to happen being the hometown girl?
Oh my goodness. I hadn't even thought about that until you just said it. That would be so cool. I keep saying, like, I want TNA to go back to England, but I want them to go to Liverpool. I think that would be so awesome. The fans there and just the history and being able to take it. You know, my dad's from Liverpool. I get announced from Liverpool. I spent half my childhood there. So to be able to take TNA back would be, it'd be a dream come true. And then you're going to mention posters. I'll be freaking out. It'll definitely be another pinch me moment.
We cannot wait to see that. It'll be so good. Obviously, TNA returning to the UK last year, and the anticipation already building for when those announcements are made. And of course, as soon as they drop, we will bring you details of it first and fastest right here on a live 107.3. And I hate to look at this, but I'm looking at the time. I know time is rapidly getting away from us. You've got a lot going on. Obviously, this big match tonight on Impact. I want to let you get ready for that. But there's one thing that I would like to do with you, and I try to do this with every TNA superstar, and that's play a round of the name game. If you are up for this, I'm going to say 5 names from the TNA roster, and I would like you to say the first thing that comes into your head. Are you up for this?
Yeah, I'm nervous though.
All right, name number 1, Aisha Edwards.
I love her. I love her. That's it.
Name number 2, the X Division champion, Mr. Mustafa Ali.
Incredible.
Name number 3, PCO.
Scary.
Name number 4, Rosemary.
Scary.
Who's scarier, PCO or Rosemary?
Rosemary. I think Rosemary.
That's
She's
not
got
that.
a kind of horror movie kind of. I don't do horrors, so it just scares me, you know.
All right, let's see if name number 5 scares you. Final one. The voice of Impact Wrestling, Mr. Smooth, Tom Hannifan.
Oh, he's a sweetheart.
Everyone loves Tom. Everyone loves Tom.
Amazing. He's such a nice guy.
So there we are. We are playing the name game with Xia Brookside, who takes on Ash by Elegance this week on TNA Impact Wrestling. You can catch it in a number of ways. Of course, here in the UK, you can catch it on TNA Plus on demand anytime from around about 3:30 on Friday morning. You can catch it on Ultimate Insiders on YouTube Friday night on Zone 1. And of course, in the States, you can catch it Thursday night on Access TV. Thank you so much for taking the time. If people want to keep up to date with you on social, how easy is it to do?
Very, very easy. It is at Xia Brookside on every single platform.
And of course, you can show the world how much of a fan you are of TNA Wrestling by heading online to tnamerch.com, where we'll be keeping an eye on so we can get some of those Xia Brookside shirts as soon as they drop. Xia, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing what happens tonight on Impact.
Thank you.